To sound more confident or fluent in English, we really don't need hundreds of words. We actually need the right ones. Basically, today I'm about to introduce to you some interesting phrases which native English speakers use and that makes them sound like a pro. They use it on a daily basis, probably. And really, if you imbibe these phrases in your vocabulary, in your active speech, definitely you will end up sounding like a native English speaker. So I really look forward to sharing all these lessons with you. Let's dive straight into learning these phrases. This lesson is all about how to sound natural. Often you will hear these phrases in meetings, in daily conversations, in movies even. But it's not basically got to do with grammar heavy sentences. It is all about how to sound natural, how to sound like you've always been speaking in English, and how to sound like a pro. So let's get started. When you meet someone after a long time, the phrase to use is long time no see. Long time no see essentially means you have met them after a long time, okay? And you're actually expressing it out loud. And as I mentioned, nothing to do about the rules or grammar, just natural, warm communication. Long time no see, a definite phrase to use when you're catching up with someone after a prolonged gap. हिंदी में एक फ्रेज है, क्या हालचाल, क्या चल रहा है. बेसिकली इसके लिए इंग्लिश में एक बहुत इफेक्टिव फ्रेज है, What have you been up to these days? Or how have you been? So, how have you been or what have you been up to these days is a way of expressing interest in someone after probably catching up with them, probably after a while. So, this indicates that you're interested in their life. You really want to know what's going on. When you hear a juicy bit of gossip, or for that matter, when something, is beyond belief, or you really want to ascertain, is this really true, what you just told me? So the phrase is, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me means an expression of utter disbelief to something you just heard from that person. A word which is significantly doing the rounds these days, predominantly on WhatsApp, is no worries. No worries simply is an expression to say it's okay, that's all right. So instead of that's all right or it's okay, you could switch to no worries. It's easy, breezy, and definitely something you can use in any scenario. So no worries, a simple expression to put the other person at ease as you're telling them it's okay. Off the cuff. This is a simple expression to mean on the spot, without preparation, or off the top of my head. Basically, when someone asks you a data point or a corroboration or to check something, to validate something, to try and recall something, but you really didn't have time to prepare and you're trying to give a response suddenly on the spot, impromptu. So in that scenario, off the cuff works brilliantly. Off the cuff, I can tell you that this data seems okay, but you will have to give me an hour to check and verify. Or off the top of my head, same phrase, same expression, similar in meaning. So very easy phrase to use when you're spontaneously responding to a situation without really preparing for the same. When someone speaks with logic, it's good to recognize that. Actually, that makes sense. Great phrase to use. You're actually validating the other person's thought, and you certainly have that person on your side when you say something like this. So, actually, that makes sense. Excellent phrase to use. A polite expression of acceptance. Well, the usage of this phrase is wide. If I say fair enough, which I am probably guilty of overusing because I say it all the time. Whenever my students tell me that, ma'am, can we meet at so-and-so time? And, they express their compulsions around it. I say fair enough. Or they discuss their challenges, okay, and I'm trying to give a solution. I end up by responding, fair enough, let's work on this aspect. So, fair enough is an acceptance, a polite acceptance of the other person's view, okay? And you're saying it's fair, it's a fair request, and then you probably add your thought. Fair enough, great phrase to use. I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you posted is a very positive conversation. Basically, you're telling them, you're giving them the assurance that whatever are the developments, you will be aware of the same real time because they are going to keep you posted. So, I'll keep you posted is a way of saying I'll update you constantly, regularly, periodically. Oh, the heat is scorching and literally crippling my day-to-day functioning because I'm unable to step out and, sustain for long hours on the field because of the intense heat. And the other person responds to this expression by saying, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more is a great way of reinforcing that you are in sync with the thought just expressed by the person. I couldn't agree more. Likewise, even I find it difficult to be outdoors for long hours. There you go. When a person expressed his inability to sustain for long hours on the field because of the intense heat, when you said, I couldn't agree more, you actually reaffirmed his thought and his belief, saying you feel the same. At the end of the day, or all things considered. At the end of the day is a conclusive line. All things considered is a conclusive line indicating how you're summarizing the overall thought. At the end of the day, what really matters is how strong your network is because that will sustain you or hold you in good stead in the long run. So at the end of the day is a beautiful way to summarize the overall thought. Can I get back to you on this one? It's a great way to take the person's buy-in that you don't have a handy update, but you're someone who's surely going to revert on this particular question or discussion. So can I get back to you on this one is actually taking the person's buy-in, buying some time so that you can get back to them. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed is a sign of hope. So when you're hoping and you're saying hoping for the best, you can simply say the expression fingers crossed. This means you are actually trying to, say that you're hopeful that whatever the outcome you all are expecting will actually materialize. So for example, during the COVID period, when it was a prolonged period of probably dismay or doom, and we were all hoping things get sorted soon. So fingers crossed, one of the best expressions to use. You can also use it in a day-to-day scenario. Let's take the example of this lesson. Fingers crossed, you all enjoyed this clip and are looking forward to more such lessons from me. So I really, really encourage you to go out there and try out these phrases because these are great phrases which make you sound like native, eloquent English speakers. And I really want that for you. So happy learning at English Excellence with Chaya.